Democratic businessman Mike Collier of Houston is campaigning to unseat Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. Collier recently told Jason Whiteley why he thinks he can win.
Mike, good to see you.
Good to see you.
You ran unsuccessfully for state comptroller in 2014. What in the world makes you think that you can defeat Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick?
Well, Dan Patrick is pretty unpopular in a lot of circles, so public education, he's an enemy of public education. Property taxes, which is my bag, they're going up. Property taxes aren't going down. As he says, they're going up, and I lay the blame at the feet of the Republicans in Austin, so we're going to be talking an awful lot about that.
Property taxes and education are the two things at the top of your platform there, too. Right. You want the state to resume what it used to do and spend more on education, give more to local school districts. That's the idea, to bring down property taxes. But how in the world can you do that in a chamber that's controlled by Republicans, if you were elected?
Well, I think, if you bring some of these things to a vote, you might get a different answer. There's an awful lot that never comes to a vote because they don't have the courage to actually vote on it. For example, there's a huge loophole in the property tax system. The owners of large commercial industrial properties don't pay their taxes, and every time legislation is proposed to fix that, it never comes up for a vote. So the first order of business is to vote on these things, because they'll go back to their district and they're going to have to explain themselves.
Do they not vote on, do they not pay their taxes, or are they delayed, or pay a portion?
They don't pay. They don't pay.
At all?
They don't pay. It's a rigged system. It's a rigged system. So if you own a large commercial or industrial property, you hire a bunch of lawyers, sue every year, you can drive the value down, so you drive your taxes down, and they do it a lot. The last time it was measured was in 2006. The large appraisal districts measured the magnitude of this problem. We were missing $4 billion a year. Now you adjust that for inflation, that's $5 billion a year now. So close that loophole, vote, close that loophole, then we recover $5 billion a year. I'm not about raising taxes. I'm about enforcing the law. The Constitution says you pay taxes based on market value. So get these guys to market value and start paying your taxes. That's how you solve the property tax problem.
You clearly have a financial background. You
Right.
spent, what, a decade or so at PricewaterhouseCoopers down in Houston. Why did you get into this race?
Well, I was reading in the newspaper. When you go back to 2014, I got involved in Democratic politics in 2014. The controller said we have a deficit coming and we fired a bunch of teachers. Well, I'm pro-public education. There was no deficit. It was a surplus. These guys don't know what they're doing when it comes to money, and it puts us in a very, very bad place. That's why, Jason, our property taxes are going through the roof, and that money's not finding its way to the schools, and it's a bad answer for young people. It's a bad answer for taxpayers, and that's why I'm running.
Mike, how much money will you need to raise?
A lot. A lot. It's a big state. It's a big state.
What's realistic?
Well, I think $10 million is realistic. We've raised, when we get to January, we will have raised a little bit over $500,000, which is a start. The big money will be raised next year. I believe that we can raise the money.
You're one of the Democrats who seem to be always out there. Why is the party having so much trouble recruiting viable candidates?
Well, not everybody has the courage to jump in early and run, and because they think it's a long shot race. I think I'm very buoyant about this, and I'll tell you why, Jason. I think the real news is what's happening with the down ballot candidates. If you compare 18, which is where we are now, to when I ran in 2014, we've got so many more down ballot candidates running. That turns out the Democratic vote. I think it's going to be a much different proposition in 2018, and I can see that because I've been working on it. Others will see it. Others will jump in.
Your biggest challenge in the next 12 months is what?
Get my message out. It's a very powerful message. Texans respond to it. Most Texans want our public education system to be good. All Texans want our property taxes to be fair. The Republicans, Dan Patrick, will not address the property tax crisis, and I will, and you get that message out and people respond to it. That's the challenge.
Mike Collier, Democratic candidate for Lieutenant Governor. Good luck to you, and thanks for coming in.
Thank you.